And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest today is a talented author. He's Puerto Rican, so you already know. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Daniel Ortiz. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Nice to be here.
It's an honor. So you have a book out, The Inbox,
Yes. Yes.
which is totally dope. As we were talking before we started, I told you I'm kind of a scaredy cat, but I'm dying to read it. Is it like a graphic novel or
It's
a general book?
it's just a general book. And actually, a lot of people assume that the book is horror, gory, but it's really not. It's like we were talking about earlier. It's more of a
Yes.
suspense thriller. So I find that a lot of young people and adults are enjoying the book, the story itself. So I am working on something regarding graphics and
Mm,
animation and
dope.
I
Yes, I
can't
saw
get
I
too
saw
much
your
about.
trailers, your animation trailers on YouTube, which is it's fucking dope.
Yeah,
It's really fucking cool.
yeah. I can't say too much about it, but I am very excited to release that project next month. So yeah,
That's dope. So, like, let's go a little bit back before we get into the book.
sure.
What inspired you to start writing short stories or your stories in general?
Well, writing goes back to third grade, actually. I'm not sure if you recall the dioramas that we used to do these projects in
Yes,
school. It was like a story within a shoebox.
yes.
So my first diorama was actually when it all started for me because I was able to create my own story in a shoebox. And from there on, I continued just writing short stories in my notebook after school. It would come to the point where I found myself even going to the library just to write. But I do want to say that the dioramas started all of it. Just creating my own story within a shoebox. From there on, it just elevated. I just kept writing and writing, and I didn't stop. Well into middle school, and then high school, and then college. It just something that stuck with me since third grade.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, is this your first project you actually produce, or
Yes.
you have a couple of that?
Well, yes, this is my first published short story. Um, and yeah, I looking forward to releasing more to the public and sharing more of my writing with everyone else. Yeah, this is my first published book, and I'm really proud of it, actually.
Well, it's dope. You should be. It's really dope. So your writing process, was it like, is this a story? Like, I know a lot of people that write and just have it there sitting, and then later of the years they do something, or it's something you just you started writing, boom, 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 and you finished it, and now we publish it. How was that journey?
Yeah, well, the inbox took about 4 months to write. It was a lot longer than it is now. There was some stuff I had to chop out, edit, cut out, add. But my writing process is just sitting on the laptop and just letting my thoughts flow. I don't do outlining. I don't do
Mm,
any, and I respect that from, other writers do
yes,
prefer to
yes.
do it that way. But all I really need is just to sit with an open mind and just have a view. That's all I need. It could be
That's
like a view
beautiful.
outside the window, and then my mind just flows that way. And when I do start writing, I can't stop. So it's just like I go back to it every day, and I'm adding more, I'm taking away more. But yeah, that's my writing process.
Dope. What inspires you, like, to write something such amazing as you wrote with the Inbox? Like, where do you get those ideas? Like, it's something you have just lingering, or just I don't like a light bulb goes off, and all right, I got this idea.
Uh, that's a tricky question because I feel like it's a little bit of all of that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of one day waking up and it's just there, you know, and then there's other times where I could just be watching a movie or be outside at the park and it just something just clicks. A story just starts developing in my head. So I'm really not sure how to answer that, but that's how, you know, that's how I come up with my creativity. Being outdoors or just like watching something and I'm like, whoa, well, watching a movie and I'm like, if the story ended this way, and then I'll think to myself, oh, maybe I should just write something,
Different.
yeah, something different, something with a better ending,
Twist on it. It's always something you can.
or a better intro, or yeah, it just yeah. So it's a little bit of all of that, you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about ever like writing a play or a script or something that other than like are you interested in the near future and other adventures when it comes to writing?
Yeah, I'm very open-minded to whatever, you know, falls on my plate. I'm pretty open to exploring more of my creativity and offering more of, you know, my craft. If it comes to screenwriting or playwriting, I'm down for it. Anything that has to do with writing, I love. So yeah.
That's dope, man. I'm happy to hear that. There's a lot of talented writers out there. You're one of them, obviously. You know the that how do I put it? That transition in writing, right? Like, are you one of these writers that like, all right, this is the first rough draft, second rough draft. Like, is it one, or twice, or do you have a lot of rough drafts when it
A
comes
lot
to
of
writing?
It's a
A
lot
lot.
of drafts, yeah. And it could be overwhelming, but for some reason I find it very fun and I learn a lot from it. Actually, I learn a lot. I'm more of a better writer than I was when this first came out. I feel, I know, I see it, I'm being told. So a lot of rough drafts, but you know, it was all worth it. It just helped me become a better writer, you know, to my readers.
That's dope. Do you listen to your the people who critique you at all? Like, please, like, please no, because people are gonna talk shit regardless.
You're right about that. People, you know, before writing the book, I didn't tell anybody that I was writing a book. No
Mm,
one, my partner
smart.
didn't know, my family didn't know. It was just something about not wanting that kind of negative energy or side eye, like, what do you mean you're writing a book? You know, it's just, I felt like I needed to protect my mind during that time and my craft and focus on the story. I really felt like it was something that needed to be put out there for some reason. And yeah, I actually dropped the bombshell and everyone found out online. I didn't call no one up or anything. It's just like, let me just post,
Boom.
see what my family and my friends are gonna say, you know, and they're like, you never said you were writing a book. Like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I really wanted to share it with you, but look, it's out there. Go read it.
Go
Like,
buy it.
go buy it. Like, support me, you know. But yeah, also when I'm writing, I do tend to kind of close out. I do not like to share too much of what I'm creating. I just like to get the work done and then put it out there like a prize. Like,
Yeah, man, I could totally understand why would you would do something like that, because you tell somebody and you got so many distractions, or
yeah,
have somebody tugging you, you're like, can I read it, can I read it, can I read it, and it's like you sometimes you lose momentum,
yes.
get sidetracked, and it's not the same, so it takes you even longer.
And there were some people, you know, who I just didn't want that. Oh, but what if you add this to your story or take away this part or add this or what if this? I didn't want to hear any of that. I felt like I was going in the right direction here with this story. Um, and yeah, it's out now. It's out to the world. It's available worldwide, actually. and I'm really proud of that. I'm happy.
Oh, you look proud. You sound proud, and
Yeah.
to reach, and I was talking to this with my sister the other day. Some people don't even go past writing the title.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to write something, but they don't even write their name on the piece of paper. Like I went to, I don't know if you know Zay Rodriguez.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
I just met him. He's a great human being. He
Awesome
helped
guy.
he helped produce this mini movie called Judy's Confession, which is it's fucking good. Man, it's good, it's funny, it has a beautiful message to it towards it. And it took me 2 hours and 30 minutes to get to Philly to watch it. Um and I was talking to my sister, right? And I was like, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You have to appreciate it because there's some people don't even write their name on that paper.
Yeah.
They don't even write they have so much thoughts and ideas, but they don't capitalize it. And it's only a few, it may seem like a whole ocean of people that write, but it's not really that much.
No, there isn't. No, you're absolutely right. And there's also people who, would present ideas to you and they're like, can you write for me? Can you write this story for me? And I'm like, I wish I can, but I can't,
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I have my small company, Dream Inspire Team. Hired three intern writers. They wanted to write. They wanted to write. So I had this idea of something, and I got it. I joined them together, and we created a schedule and where minimum once a week we get together and we start writing. I think 3 to 4 months went, and every time we recap, we didn't write nothing down. Write nothing down, and
yeah,
I got so unmotivated. I get
yeah,
so like I'm a person that I'm impatient as it is, right? But I've learned that like you only worry about the things you're actually doing.
exactly.
And I realized that in that project, 4 months have gone by and nothing was done.
Wow.
So I avoided, everybody's contract. I was speaking to them individually. They all want to do something, but it's my question. My answer is, I sound like an asshole, but like I gave you an opportunity to do something.
Right, right.
What happened that we didn't capitalize on that?
Yeah,
So, to see someone like you, especially a Latino, Puerto Rican,
yes,
seeing us slowly, get into this culture of writing and expressing and having ideas, and doing all these things. I get so overwhelmed with joy and happiness because we're doing it, you
yes,
know?
I agree. I agree. There's nothing better than being surrounded by a group of people with open minds and creativity. It's just, you know, it helps. It helps. I mean, I love to be surrounded by singers and like other writers or like screenplay writers or like, you know, all of that just helps your creativity as a person. It's very important to surround yourself with people who kind of share the same mindset as you when it comes to their goals and what they want to achieve in life. Um, but yeah, um, yeah, the
Did you,
Latinos are doing
yeah.
it, man.
Did you go to college to like write and whatnot?
I'm actually in college currently. I have one more year under my belt at Columbia. And
Nice,
my
congrats.
major, thank you. My major is English literature. So I do plan to take this further. You know, I
Next
want to
level.
keep writing. I want to teach grammar. I want to open kids' minds, like it's important. It's important, especially in today's age where everything's a screen, like a screen
Yeah.
time. Like everyone's traded everything that we can do outside of home, like for screen time. And I just want to open up people's minds to seeing that the world is bigger. When you read, you create a world in
Yes,
your
yes,
own mind.
yes.
And I don't know, but for me, that's just mind blowing.
No, I
I
totally
want to
understand.
share that with the
Yeah.
younger generation too,
Yes,
know.
yes. It's very, very important. Have you ever thought about like doing audio, your books that you create also incorporate them to audiobooks?
Yeah, absolutely. I am looking into that actually. Further down the line,
Mm.
I would love to have that done. Uh, but in the meantime, I really want to push these books out there. And yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's totally dope. Have you done any lately, like any book signings or any places?
no, no, I didn't set myself up for that just yet. This is my first book, so I'm still getting the hang of things and how this works. So, if it happens along the line, then, glory to God. I'm open for it, but, in the meantime, I'm just starting out this and it's so far, it's just been a great journey for me and I'm happy and I can't wait to see where it's going to lead me later on, So yeah.
Any ideas or stories that helped you like write them down because you were in this COVID pandemic stuff? Like, did anything inspire you? Did you learn anything that help you as a person throughout this whole pandemic issue we had, or we're still going through?
Yeah, actually, when the pandemic started is when I started writing the inbox, actually.
Got it.
My mind was just so loud and I just felt to put this story together. Um, I as well had some other books that I was reading at the time. R.L. Stein books. He's one of my favorite authors. I was reading Fear Street. So I was kind of influenced by him,
Got
his
it. Got it.
books, his stories at the time. And it just pushed me every day to write, actually. So I would say it was actually reading other thriller suspense books that got me through the pandemic and got me through writing this story.
That's awesome. Source of inspiration.
Yeah.
Like, what other genres do you enjoy? Like, you always tell yourself, I would like to write something like this.
Um, I
Or,
would want to.
or is it anything that inspires you? Like, if right now you get inspired by a love story, that's what I'm gonna do.
I don't know. I think my mind is shifting now, as you could see, like what I've posted on my Instagram, which is coming in October. I want to kind of push into the comic book,
Nice. I'm a
you know,
huge comic book fan. Yeah.
like try that out. Um, I have an amazing illustrator who's been, putting this project together for me, and I he's happy with me. I'm happy with him. If this can go any further, then I'm all for it. But yeah, I have my mind open to many things, but right now I do uh, want to push towards a comic book kind of thing. Yeah.
That's dope. What's your growing up? What was your favorite comic book to read, or do you have one?
Yeah, the Spider-Man comic books, they were all my favorite. I collected many of them, which I believe my mom still has stored in her basement somewhere. But yeah, I was a big Spider-Man fan, and I had all of his most of his comic books as a kid growing up. So yeah, that was another inspiration for me growing up.
Dope, dope. Do you know who is the Scarlet Spider?
I've heard about this.
Are you excited about the movies about to drop?
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited about all of those movies actually. Yeah, I think it looks great. Sounds great. Looking forward to it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So now the pandemic hit, you started writing this awesome book. You know, how was it? You know, were you one of those that was crazy because you had to stay stuck in your house, or was it like, finally, I get to sit back? Let me, write this down.
Honestly, I'm a homebody, so I enjoy staying home. So when the pandemic hit, something good came out of it because it kind of closed me in to get back to my writing because I had abandoned it for some time. Like in my early 20s, going through life changes.
Yes, yeah.
And I kind of stopped writing for some time. So I feel like the pandemic definitely closed me into remembering my gift in writing. So yeah, in some ways I am grateful for the pandemic because of that. Because if that never happened, I probably would have never published this story, this book. So yeah, it was very challenging, but something good came out of it. And yeah, I actually didn't
That's
mind staying home at all.
yeah, I totally agree. I did the same thing. I started this podcast. I went full time with my wife real estate. I've now I'm home now. I'm a full time dad, which when I was working for other people, I was just that guy who paid the bills and showed up late at home, you know. But it's these stories that I truly enjoy because a lot of people, took a long vacation when the pandemic hit. They really, they rarely came and how do I put it? They didn't look themselves in the mirror and says, and this is time that I want to use to either get fit, learn something, start something,
Yes,
I'm very happy and proud to hear you were very few individuals that were like, hey, I got to take accountability. I have this talent.
right.
I'm gonna use this time, right, and I'm gonna do this, and you did it, man.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations to you too. Yeah, like you said, the pandemic was actually a perfect time for reflection and perfect time to make adjustments
Yes.
and either get back to your old passions or start new ones. So yeah, very few people um, unfortunately probably didn't see past that, that something good can actually come out of it.
True, true, very true.
Here we are today.
I see you got that beautiful flag behind you.
Yes, this is my flag.
Right on. Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Proud LGBTQ.
Yes, yes. Has you been supported?
Yes, yes. So I just moved to Fort Lauderdale, where I'm at now, from Brooklyn, from New York. And when I began writing the book, I was getting some emails because I kind of was putting it out there that, hi, I'm new to the area. Would love to connect with you regarding like talking about my book. And right away, I was accepted. People here in Fort Lauderdale were amazing. The community here, amazing, beautiful. They called me right away. They said, we want you on podcast. We want you in a magazine. Like, we want you to talk
Beautiful,
about this
beautiful.
story. So it's been great. I've been receiving awesome support here in South Florida. And that's another thing I'm grateful for because I moved here in the middle of the pandemic.
Wow.
So that was very challenging for me too, to adapt from a big city like New York and come to like, you know, quiet side of Florida. But I did it. And now the inbox is born. The inbox is here. And I'm excited to, continue that and share it with everyone else.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
How do you like? What do you like better? You like Brooklyn or Florida?
Why are you doing this to me? Uh, do you know I will always love my city.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, Bushwick, love my city. But I like the laid back life here. I like that I could hear my thoughts. I like that I'm not always rushing to go somewhere or rushing to go see someone or do something. Um, People here are also very friendly, very nice, very welcoming. So I have to say that South Florida is my favorite right now.
Oh man, that's beautiful. But that's growth, that's growth, growth as a person. I unfortunately still live in New Jersey. I still got to deal half of the shit you just mentioned, and I grew up in Puerto Rico, right? So
Okay.
that majority of my life was over there, and I miss it because it was quiet.
Yeah,
Everybody was real polite.
yeah,
Um, and here it's a different animal. The days go back quick. I remember, growing up, the days were longer. You know, you could enjoy it a little bit more than here.
yeah.
Um, you know, I'm still in the hood, so I hear people arguing, gun shooting, but
Sirens going off.
yeah, left and right. But
Yeah,
I get your peace of mind. That's
yeah.
the most important part, that you get, this, you could turn it off and hear what you're thinking, because over here you can't even see the fucking stars. Like literally, you know.
That is so true. I don't think I've ever seen a star in New York. But yeah, it's been a very smooth transition, and I've adapted so well here too. I thought I was gonna have trouble. I thought I was gonna have trouble. I was born, raised in the Big Apple, and I thought it was gonna take some time, but I adapted right away. Right away. It was almost like if I belonged here the whole time. Um, but yeah.
Plus, like you said, you had support. You had amazing people that you probably wouldn't get that in New York and shit. That helped you out, was there for you. And
Yeah.
that's sometimes that's all we need is support.
Yeah.
You know, fucking hey man, you're writing a book, you're doing your thing, you're moving, you're living the
Yeah.
best life you can.
Trying.
But that's
Trying
all
happening.
we can do. Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
we
It's
can do.
beautiful to just see it from when I step back and I see everything that's been done and accomplished. Just very, very, very proud of myself. Very proud.
How hard did you have to work for all that?
Very, very hard.
You see,
Very hard. Yeah.
and that's
Like I
what's
said, like I had abandoned writing for a long time. It was always my passion. Uh, and I went through the growing pains, like we have to. You know, my life was up and down, and then just one day it just all made sense.
see, talk a little bit about that, right? Because this is me as a person, right? When I have people watching, right, my viewers and my listeners, this is what I want my guests to talk about, their struggle, because we
Yeah.
live in an era where people are telling us that you want to make 100, you want to drive a Mercedes, you want to make 100,000, but they think that it can happen overnight, and it
No,
doesn't. It takes struggle, it takes work, it takes sacrifices, it takes, sometimes you can't even sleep, or eat, like to get where you want to go,
exactly.
you know.
Um, Nothing. I mean, I'm sure you could relate. You're Latino too, but like nothing's ever handed to us. We really have to grow up and make something out of ourselves.
Yes, 100%.
But yeah, the growing pains were very tough, but they shaped me, they molded me into who I am today, and I'm very grateful. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. I see why I had to go through the ups and downs in my life before. It's all to get me here, and there's peace here. So I'm grateful for that.
And peace is happiness.
Yes, peace is happiness.
Oh
Uh,
man.
but yeah, the struggles were real. A lot of transition, a lot of, you know, um, I had first came out the closet when I was about 23 years old. I grew up in a very strict household, Pentecostal, very
Oh
religious.
man, I feel you.
So
I
you
was
were,
I was a neighbor. I was a neighbor a couple, so I know. Oh man, that must have been hard.
it was very tough. It was tough to struggle with my sexuality for so many years. And then at 23, at 22 or 23, I really can't remember. But I just felt like enough was enough. I just had to live in my truth, accept who I am, and just move forward.
And
You
fuck
know,
it, and fuck it.
I
Live your happiness.
I didn't want to follow rules anymore. I didn't want to um, be told how to dress, how to talk, what to wear, who to be friends with. My whole life, like it just wasn't who I am. So when I broke free from that, I found myself then going through new experiences as a gay man now. And that's when, I stopped the writing. A lot of things just came my way. A lot of things just helped shape me, and it was all worth it. It really was.
Yeah, man. That's the most important part, finding who you are
Yeah.
and where you feel happiest at the most. First of all, thank you for sharing uh your story, right? I appreciate that. And I can just imagine how difficult um it is for you, and because sometimes as we get older, we still haven't overcome certain traumas,
Right.
and but once we come to acceptance, it's a little bit more smooth to navigate them, right?
Right. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
especially being Pentecostal, bro. Shit, it's hard, like my
Yeah.
my aunt, her name is Elisa Martinez, aka Titi Ichi. This woman, she's a lesbian, right? This woman, I remember one time she called everybody in the family to say that she was coming out. And I remember having this conversation with my mom, and we all looked at her like, and
Right.
it never changed who she was. It never changed what she was about. We loved her the same.
Yeah.
That woman taught me how to fight. That woman taught me how to fucking survive in the streets. You know,
Wow.
like it's it's uncanny on how this world could treat you because you're different,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
so unfair.
Yeah.
It's so unfair.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
is.
and all my aunt wanted was to, like, you live her life, be happy, and fucking, drink some Hennekens and enjoy life. That's it. Ain't rocket science for that shit, right?
That's it. Make something of yourself and just
Keep it
live
fucking
your own
moving.
life.
That's
Live
it.
your life. That's it. But yeah.
And I'm grateful. And she's a woman. I'm grateful, for having her in my life. Like, that woman taught me how to box, and I will fuck motherfuckers up. You know, not a lot of people can say
Love
that
that.
shit. You know,
I love that.
and we will have these. We back then we owned the bar, and she would have all our friends. There's one Beba, Mari, and there was one, there was Julio, but we called him Juliana.
Yeah.
And they were like the best times of my life, just spending time with them. They were being so happy, so humble.
Yeah.
I learned the realest lessons I've learned in life is through them.
Wow.
You
That's
know,
beautiful. Yeah.
um, and I've as I'm about to fucking tear up. My bad. As I'm growing older, I've life hits you with so much shit,
Right.
bills, kids, fucking finance, jobs, and I can, I went after 10 years back, right? It's my 30th birthday. And I never wanted to go back, right? I I'm done. And then once my wife took me, obligation. And I had sent her this G-Shock watch I had, right? And I got there and it was dead. It hasn't been like without a battery for a year. And I'm going to Puerto Rico because of my birthday, but I'm hustling on a budget.
Yeah.
And I went, I saw it there, and I asked, "What happened to the watch?" She said, "Ah, no, no tenía batería. It has to have batteries." So I took it, and I drove to the pueblo because that's a fucking other thing. You got to drive. There's no buses, nothing like that, as far as how. And I put battery in it, and I got back to my grandma's house, and I sat in front of her, and I was like, "Give me your hand." And I started kissing her hand and rubbing it because those hands were the one that cooked my meal, taught me how to fight.
Yeah.
And I took the watch out of my pocket and I put it on her hand, and I started crying. I said, "I'm sorry, I've taken me so long, so
Wow.
long to show you my appreciation. You know, it took me so long to come back home. It took me so long to say thank you,
Yeah.
thank you." And this is a woman who raised a daughter on her own that at one point her parents didn't want to hadn't wanted to do nothing with her because she came out of the closet, like one would say. But she's been so impactful in my mom's life and my cousin's life and a good chunk of my family, right? And I told her I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, this is too much I can do. It's take a fucking watch, put some batteries on it so it can work,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
financially I wasn't like where one was like to be,
Mhm.
and she started crying, we started crying, and she hugged me, and that I never asked for much. Something like that means the world to me, she said.
Wow.
And
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah, man, it's it's difficult, man. So when you say you came out of the closet 23 and you had to go with this religious family, I know how you feel. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not in your same shoes, but I've been around some awesome people. And the only thing I could do is try to keep their name alive, give them their props, and throw them flowers.
Right. Right.
You know,
Exactly. They deserve it
yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that story. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and this is for everybody, that's still in fear that they can't come out, and fuck that. Fuck what anybody thinks.
Right. Right.
Nobody defines your happiness but you.
Yeah.
Be you, be happy. Shit. I own a small t-shirt printing business. My biggest order has become from this club, the Lao 26 in Jersey City. It's a pride club.
Okay.
The biggest supporter, the biggest, people that help me is them.
Yeah.
So,
Always. I
you
feel like that's why, like when I released the book, my first target was my community.
yes,
My community. There's nothing gay within the story yet, but I just felt like this was something my community would enjoy reading too.
definitely, definitely.
They have always been very
But
supportive
but
of
we
stuff.
gotta break that stereotype,
Yeah,
because a lot of people, like, it gets me irritated when because you're gay, you write a book or write something, it automatically has to be gay. You got to stop that shit.
yeah, yeah,
That means nothing. That
yeah,
means nothing.
yeah. And yeah, it was just not something I felt to incorporate in this first story um, yet. But yeah, the community was always very welcoming. They received the story really well. Like I said, they put it in the magazine and all. Like they have always been the biggest support system in my life since I came out. They were my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, one hundred
So they
percent.
were the first ones I ran to. I'm like, listen, I just put out a book. I need your help because I know they can do it. I know they will help. I know they support small businesses. They believe in small dreams, and yeah,
And little do you know, that's all you needed was support.
That's it.
Whether you're gay, straight, a woman, a man, that's all you ever needed, you know. That's what dream inspired things all about.
Yes.
And you, my friend, are a certified dreamer who inspired others and will inspire many to obtain, whether it's accepting themselves or writing a book or doing anything. That's all you ever needed was some
Mhm.
positive reinforcement.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That is
I
all I needed.
Yeah, I saw, I reached out to Zay because he posted when you the books. So I was like, oh, that's dope. And I sent you an inbox where you wasn't responding. So I hit up Zay. And I was like, Zay, I want him on the podcast. I want to talk to him.
I do apologize for that.
Don't worry about that.
I did
Don't
miss
worry
the
about
message. But yeah, Zay actually hit me up. He was like, "Hey, are you still cool for the interview?" I was like, "Shit, yes, I am." I,
it. Zay, man, he's an incredible individual, man. He's funny as fuck. I met him the first time Saturday. God bless his soul, man. He's another one that's just you know pushing for greatness.
Right.
Like he is an awesome human being,
Yeah.
and
He
he
really.
also he loves horror. Like he's a fanatic.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when I first came out with the inbox, him and I were on FaceTime. And this was a year ago or 2 years ago, a year ago, I want to say. And I had brought up the inbox story. It wasn't written or anything, but it was just an idea, at the time. And I was talking to him about it. And later on, I just winded up writing about it. And it became a short story. But yeah, that's why I say it's very important to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yes,
They,
yes,
they, they kind of challenge you in that way to open up your mind to like um, kind of push you, motivate you, encourage you, you know. And yeah, he's an awesome guy, and I'm very fond of his work and everything he's doing.
yeah,
He's
man.
be going places.
Yes, 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 yes. That he is. But
Yeah.
once is I learned this the hard way. I moved over here and I was just like a lost puppy. Like honestly, like it took bumps and bruises to me understand that you want to do something or you just want to progress.
Yeah.
Just progress in life. You got to surround yourself with people that have the same ideas, if not better, challenge you to better yourself.
Yes.
And I remember I didn't have that. Like everybody wanted to go clubbing shit in Puerto Rico. Like in Puerto Rico, you're young. You go to a club at a very young age. Like at 13, I was clubbing, right? Like it's a different lifestyle. So
Yeah.
when I got over here, I would just want to make my money and find a way to progress.
Right.
Like
Right.
I was very into real estate at a very young age. I wanted to own land, just didn't know how to work. And when I moved here, the people that I called friends, I thought were friends, they wasn't about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you say that, that's key in a lot of success for
Yeah.
anybody, right?
It's important for us to all stick together. I realized that too. I realized that um, very recently, actually.
Yeah.
I realized that it's very important to surround myself around like-minded people or people who are also creative or people that I trust that I can share my craft with, and they'll be like, "That's a great idea," and kind of challenge me to think harder, think better, and just be better as a writer, as a creative person. Um, but yeah, for a long time, I was just surrounding myself with stagnant people who were complacent, who were comfortable, and weren't necessarily doing much with their lives. And I feel like as a human, it's our human nature to just evolve and to continue.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and if
Yes.
you don't feel that, if you're still stuck on 2012 or what happened last year, how are you? How do you expect to grow? How do you expect to be a better human? if you're always in the same spot doing the same thing with the same people, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Who don't believe in you. You know, you could be friends with someone for many years, and the minute that you start uh, growing, all of a sudden they're offended. They're, you know, they
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
side eye you. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
You start
So,
looking at you sideways. Yeah. And it's okay. Me recently, I learned that it's okay that you outgrow people. I mean,
yeah,
that person's not a stepping stone. They're really nothing, you know, you know, disrespectful wise, right? But it's okay to outgrow people. You know,
right.
I don't have a lot of friends. And for me to consider you as a friend, shit, it's a lot, right? And you know, I've come to realize that, it's okay. I'm
Yeah,
here like worrying about that. Me and you came from, where we grew up, right? So there's a lot of people that can say that, but I'm trying to do this in life and you're not,
right.
and we could sit back and talk about the same stories we've talked about millions of times. You can laugh our ass off, but it doesn't change the fact that that's all it is. And I
Exactly.
and I and I want more. I want more greater memories. I want to create new and better things. I want to progress,
Yes.
right? And that's okay.
Yes. I agree.
That's totally okay.
Yeah, I remember when it hit me. I was like, you know, it was a little, um,
Was it scary?
it was sad. I was really,
Yes.
I was really
Yes.
sad because it's like, I wish I could take you with me because I feel uh, like I could help you, but at the same time, it's like you got your own thing going on. Like you can't just
Yeah.
if you feel like you're always pushing people to be better, but it, you're not changing your surrounding, you're not changing
Mhm.
your circle. You're just busy trying to push people to be better, but where is that taking you? Nowhere. I just felt like I was stuck for a long time trying to help people level up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I totally
Wasn't
agree.
working. They were just too comfortable with where they were. And I was like, listen, I'm getting older. I have dreams. I have goals. I need to get back to my writing. I got to leave you behind. I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
know?
I totally. I like one thing about me. I've always been a fan. Like I've always tried to write my own comic books. Like
Yeah.
I one day I'm going to do it. But certain things have to step, right? Or produce movies. Like that's something I've always loved.
Yeah.
I've always tried to do, and I've always tried to do it with people, and I come to realize that if I want to do everything, like if I want to do everything I want to do, I got to do it on my own,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like let's take this whole podcast scenario, right? It's something I've always wanted to do, right? I kept, hey, maybe if you come with me, we be co-hosts and whatnot, blah blah blah, and everybody would tell me yes, yes, yeah, sure, or the great word for sure, we'll do it. And 4 years passed
And nothing.
and nothing. Comic book ideas, let's do something. Well, perfect example, the story I told you with the script writers, and nothing. And January 4th, 2021, here I am talking to the talented Daniel Ortiz.
On
I
your
did it.
own podcast, like you did it
Yeah,
on your own, man.
yeah,
Seriously. Part of, leveling up is leaving the old behind.
yes,
You have to.
yes,
Because now you have this going for you, and now you develop new friendships, you
yeah,
develop new connections, new relations, you're networking, you're meeting a whole bunch of different new people.
yes, yes,
That's amazing. That's what we're here to do. We're
yes,
here to love, we're here to grow, we're here to learn from each other. And I wish everyone had that mindset, but it's fine. That's fine because you do have people like you and I, you have people like Zay, and many others, you know, who encourage each other, who push each other, who actually want to see one another grow, be better. And that's what's most important.
Yes, 100%. Yes, 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 yes.
And I remember I was having this conversation with my partner when my book first came out. And I told him, I was like, you know, like, I really don't care if people never read my book. I am just happy that it's finally out there, because this is something I've always wanted to do since I was a little boy. And now it's out there. And that just brings me such a deep-rooted satisfaction to know I wrote a book and now it's available worldwide.
Yes, yes.
Amazing. And I don't
Yes.
care. You know, like I told them, I don't really care if people didn't pick it up, or people didn't buy it, or friends didn't buy it, or family didn't buy it. It's out there. One way or another, like, my name is on there.
There you go. Oh shit. Post it up, okay. I want people to see. Go check out Daniel Ortiz, The Inbox, out now.
Yes.
That's a dope cover.
Yes. Pretty creepy. So
yes.
The Inbox, just to give a little.
Yes, give a little description. So yeah.
So The Inbox follows the story of a 23-year-old Devon Owens. And now he's the main character of the story. And he's a college student who embarks on a journey of self-discovery as he sets out for a place of his own apartment. So he goes online, and one day he receives an unexpected message from a stranger who's posing as a realtor. She poses as a realtor to lure him into a deep, diabolical, dark trap. And you have to read, you know, to find out whether he makes it out alive or safe, you know, or just
that's that, you know, that same concept. It's what, you know, everybody has every day. You know many like creepy inbox messages I get on a daily basis.
And, you know, that's where the story kind of came from, because a few years back, I was receiving a lot of spam mail.
Oh, man.
But there was this one email I received that didn't go to spam and or junk mail, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a woman, and she was emailing me as if she knew who I was. And you know, like, I didn't know her, whatever, maybe wrong email, wrong person.
That's the most creepiest shit ever. Right?
So I told her, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not sure if you're, you know, you mixed up the email, maybe, you know, but this is not you're not trying to reach me. I really don't know you. You don't know me. But she kept on. She kept on. Every day was like paragraphs of her telling me about her day and who she was. And I was like, this would be such a cool story. But with a twist, you know.
Yeah.
You'll have to find out what the twist is when you read the book. It's available on Amazon. It's available at Barnes and Noble. It's available at Target. It's available at Walmart. And it's available everywhere, actually.
Amazon. Yeah. Dude, it's been amazing talking to you. You are a great guest, a great human being, man. I'm definitely gonna wait for that book autograph. I'm gonna put it on my shelf. That'll be my first one ever.
Send me your information and I'll get that for you, for sure. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Before we go, let the people where they can find you at.
Yeah, sure. So you can find me on Twitter at The Inbox Story. And then you can find me on Instagram at The Inbox Message.
Right, I'll link it in the description below when the video comes out. Don't worry about it.
So bad at this, but yes, I am.
Well, it's a learning curve. You'll learn. This is not going to be the first book you write. Okay, you're gonna have many more to come. So, you know, it's practice. This is your baby right now. Don't worry about it. You'll be good.